Hello, fellow Toastmasters. This is my second speech, and this is actually something that is very personal to me. 3 key factors to a successful job search. And I'm actually not talking about my job search. The reason that this is so personal to me is I shared in my icebreaker speech that I met my boyfriend back in Lubbock, where I'm from, and he told me when I graduated that I really needed to get out and search for what I wanted to do. I needed to use my degree. He didn't want me to stay comfortable at the bank that I was working at. And so I did that, and it really only took me about 4 months to search for a job, which in this economy, as you all know, is actually pretty good. 4 months is not bad before you find a job. But the reason that this is so personal to me is because it took him a full year to find a job after he moved to Dallas. And so I thought, well, I'm going to highlight some of the things that I learned from him in his job search, and some of the things that I've learned not to do from some of the people who are applying for a job in my department currently. So my first point that I want to make is that you need to make a plan when you're searching for a job. Are your skills flexible, or are they specific to a certain kind of job? So of course, if you're an engineer, an architect, something like that, you have a very specific job description. You know exactly what you're looking for. With my boyfriend, he was a business major. And so he's looking for business. Well, that's extremely broad. What can you do with a business degree? Well, just about anything, which is the problem. How do you narrow that down? So you really have to come up with, okay, well, what do I want to do? What skills do I have, and what jobs could I get that would emphasize those skills? What would advance my skills and make me more of a valuable employee in the future? And so he sat down and assessed his skills, and he joined several job sites, which I think is essential in the job search today. You have to have an online presence. You have to have some sort of internet version of yourself, a LinkedIn profile, a Facebook, and these should be professional. They should always look professional. So that is a very key element to a job search, because people need to know who you are. They need to know what kind of a professional you are, what you're bringing to their job environment. So I think that is very important. And joining these career builder sites, monster.com, things like that, all will help you in your job search. But you also want to see, do I want a recruiter? Do I want to hire a personnel service? What can I do to help myself, to further my skills, to get my name out there to people who are searching for someone like me? And so we did all of these things during his job search, and still there are so many people applying for jobs in this economy that you're getting thousands of resumes for every job that you're applying for. How do you make yourself stand out? And the biggest thing I've learned is be truthful. So that is my second point, is you have to be truthful on these resumes. So what my boyfriend said when he started his search was, I want to have a really great resume, but I want people to know who I am. I don't want them to think that I'm someone that I'm not based on the resume that I'm presenting. And so I looked back on some of the resumes that we've received for these jobs that we've got open in the legal department right now, and I realized some of these people have really emphasized skills that they actually don't have. And you don't find that out until you get in the interview and you say, well, tell me about this project that you have on your resume. What did you do for this project? And they say, well, you know, it says here that you gather and analyze the information. And, well, really, I just gather the information. I don't actually read any of it. I just, pass it on to my boss. It says here on your resume that you analyze the information. So I would assume that you can come up with, some sort of intelligent summary of what you have read. But no, you don't actually analyze anything. You just pass it on to the next person. That's something that you don't want to put on your resume, because any good interviewer is going to ask you, what do you do in this situation? And as one of the ladies in my department said, I read the first line and the last line of the job that they're presenting on their resume, of each job that they're presenting, and I ask them a question about that first line and that last line. So in every line of your resume, you want to be sure that even though you're emphasizing how great you are, how wonderful your skills are, that you are being truthful about your skills and who you are and what you will bring to this office environment. And as one of the girls in my department, who you probably, a lot of you know, Dana Lashbrook, she's also a member of Toastmasters, even though she hasn't been here in a while. And during my boyfriend's job search, she said, I think that's a really great thing that he is not going in and trying to talk about how wonderful he is in a context that's not him. And she said, even though it's taking him a long time, ultimately, he's telling the truth. And she said, in my country, she's from Romania, she said, we have a saying, and unfortunately I cannot quote the Romanian saying for you. My Romanian is not that great. But she said, basically it translates to, if it smells too sweet, it's probably hiding something that stinks. She said, so when people go into these job interviews and they talk about how great they are, and then it turns out that they really don't have those skills when they get into the job, obviously they were emphasizing something that they didn't really have, and they got hired on the basis of something that wasn't true. My third point in searching for a job is stay positive. This is very hard to do for these people who have been out searching for months and months, and they're getting rejection after rejection. And you start going, are my skills valid in this job market? Can I actually do anything with these skills? Was it even worth it to get a degree? All of these are questions that my boyfriend asked during his job search. And ultimately, he said, maybe it wasn't worth it to get a degree. Maybe I needed to go out, find a job, and have them pay for a degree. That probably would have been more worth it. Something we've learned for when we get married and have kids. Maybe we should advise them of that. But stay positive. Even if you end up having to settle for an interim job, ultimately, your positivity will shine through when you're searching for the job that you really want. Even in that interim job, you're telling people, I still want to get out there. I still want to do the things that I dreamed about when I was getting this degree in college. All of that shines through. If you let it kill your attitude and your spirit, you're not going to get that dream job. People know when you are not positive on the inside. They can tell when you're faking it. So, and he was very good at this. During this whole year, I can count probably on one hand the number of days that he was actually down about this job, and I really admire that. And so ultimately, this story does have a happy ending. A couple of weeks ago, he applied at FedEx. They are transitioning into a new realm. They're starting a courier service. And within 2 days, he received a job from FedEx. He's one of 43 central dispatchers in the entire U.S., and he's in charge of the southeast region of the U.S. And today is his second day at work, and I'm so proud to say that. After a year of searching, to the day he received a job, a year to the day that he left his other job to move to Dallas to find something that he wanted to do. So please, if you're searching for a job in the future, keep these 3 factors in mind. It can help you.